it's coming.
That's it.
I'll be good. I might take my mic off for a minute.
Yeah.
I know I tend to curse quite a bit, so I'm gonna watch out too.
Hello, YouTube. Yeah, we just got to kind of keep it PG so
Yeah.
that they don't ding us,
Not the front door.
They don't like us being all vulgar and stuff.
No Volcare.
Unless we tell them that we're making a parody to the Boiler Room.
Woohoo!
What's up, YouTube? How's everybody doing today? Hopefully well. We've been having some fun with some price action. Caught a nice move this morning. Now we're just consolidating in a range. And this can kind of get ugly because that looks a hell of a lot like a continuation pattern to me. In this bearish trend, it might go for another full leg, and it did break a key pivot, which was a previous consolidation zone, as you can see on the 1 hour and 30-minute chart pretty plainly. That was a previous consolidation for a bullish measured move. Now we broke down out of an M top, and we're just under that transition point. We can trend and rewind basically all of this down to the next pivot, 392 area. Might even go as low as 388 if this continues to become very bearish. So just kind of be on your toes for all the action you can trade between now and then. Or if you are swing trading, this might be an opportunity to adjust some positions before things start to change directions here for at least a short time. If you're running into complex option spreads, or if you're looking at debit spreads that you have open or something like that, you can also go and convert those. Convert them into butterflies. I convert strangles into condors, and then condors into butterflies. There's just so many different ways you can adjust those positions, and I've been kind of teaching a little bit about that through the past few months here. And then now I'm going to kind of taper off my options trading this week and start getting back into focusing on futures. If not next week, the week after for sure, but next week I think I'm going to start to try and focus more on futures and still have some options positions on, but I'm going to taper most of them off this week as this is earnings week.
Guys, I got work to do. I'll be back in an hour.
All right. Well, we'll see you. Have a great one and enjoy the work. I enjoy some work every now and then. All right, that wedge is sitting right at our base on consolidation. I can draw this for you, I guess. Let's make that chart look a little nasty for a moment. It's just a straight wedge. And let's see here, we've got consolidation here. And even though this is a descending wedge, mark a regression line. You'll thank me later. On our 5-second chart, we kind of had this nice descending channel, kept expecting retrace. It didn't quite do it. And then it suddenly burst out of that sucker. It came off that angular and blam, explosive move to the upside. Ended up retracing after all. Just took a little while to make up its damn mind. That's why we started breaking out tools like the old Bollinger Bands. We started looking at the fact that this was a nice trend that looked like a pause until it didn't. Got a hammer above the 8, bar above the pivot and the 8, and blam, we filled the gap right back up to a supply zone. And that is something that is kind of unorthodox. Is I went and marked it based on this wick, on this inverted hammer right here between two bars. This was a Morningstar pattern, but the liquidity was here, and it was established and confirmed when you started seeing this wick and this wick. That was going into a bear trend. That became our supply zone just on the 1-minute chart. And when we came back up to it, we had a target by knowing where that supply zone was. Very, very easy to find that stuff and make very good, quick decisions on executing your trade plan, as well as adjusting it if necessary. If you had a target based on the double bottom breakout, target 1, target 2, target 3, that sets the standard for double bottom breakout, but it doesn't always tell you exactly where the liquidity is, where you can expect an extension like that. So if you're riding momentum, your plan was to take profit on one of these targets. This is where you can change that plan a little bit and be like, okay, I can stick with the momentum because I know how to use a 5-second chart and watch and know exactly when that momentum breaks off. I can also know where the liquidity is expected. All right, so here's our regression line on a descending wedge. This is why we mark it. That bar broke our angular support, rejected our regression line twice. This is the bar you watch. If this breaks out of this and breaks down below our previous support level, 394.35, we can be bears again. It may also be a bit of a trap. So let's see if we can find some liquidity range here based on our 30-minute chart. Well, we kind of have a box, but it's broken. So this is the wick right here. So we broke that liquidity range. Doesn't mean it disappeared. It means it's in the range. It can go back through that supply zone and turn it into a demand zone, and then we trade between the two major zones. Yeah, that's the other thing. Good assessment. So I was reading a comment there in the chat. So essentially this can become a double bottom with this descending wedge in play as well. But you're going to wait for the break. And here we just broke it as I was looking away. There's your regression line break even though we got a spinner. There's your angular resistance. That was a break candle, but careful with how that closes. All right, I need to go and adjust a position real quick. Give me one moment. Oh, that was awesome. That is the craziest thing. So I have long 388, 387 puts Friday expiration on my Condor for SPY that are worth 14 cents. And I just sold a credit spread on that to butterfly half of it. 380, sold a 387, bought a 385. And that one's, I sold it at 22 cents. That is the craziest thing. Even though we were reversing for a moment. I set the order up in this mess and it executed here. I sold a credit spread below a debit spread for more than the credit spread was, or the debit spread was worth. That is really stinking rare. I'm still kind of trying to figure out how the heck that worked, but whatever. All right.
Teasing everybody today.
Yeah, that's a
But we
bit.
got this report coming out right now. That's what's getting ready to happen.
Yep.
Petroleum status report.
As I say, that's a bit wicky on that wedge break, but now we're pushing the 20 period. Oops. I got quiet for a moment because I'm sitting here thinking, how the heck?
Same thing.
There we
Now,
go.
if you go from the high to the low of today, we're fighting on a 1 minute chart. We're fighting that 33% again. We retraced to it. We actually retraced all the way to the 66%, and then wicked into it with like a little tweezer top, and came all the way back to where we are now.
Nice.
So it's been in that little area though, about between the 25 and the 33% of that move earlier today. I love Mike Quant.
Right? Ah, I figured out what I did with my spreads. Okay. I got it now. All right. I'll roll that into profit real quick here. Oh, I love that. That's cool how I was able to butterfly half that and turn it into a very quick profit. That credit spread went from 22 cents to 16 cents, just like that. And I still have a position going into Friday through earnings week, risk free. That is pretty awesome. All right, there's our bar right back to the 395.25 pivot. We might have exceeded it a little bit. There is a new liquidity zone there, by the way. Look left. That wick, even though we're on a 1 minute chart, that becomes a supply zone. Cool. Yeah, I'll have to check that out later. Boom, liquidity found. Here comes the big old red bar right back to our pivot. This is our break or no break zone here, so.
Yep. You're right there.
This will range for a moment, but this could really rip fast, so be careful of this bar. That is one hell of a bearish engulfing signal.
Yeah, it could rip down to like 39.62 on the MES.
Right.
$39.6175 is the pre-market low of January 13th. So,
Ah, nice.
and right below that, there's an OBG from January 20th at 39.59.
But
Right.
this is also a strange look. It could be like a triple bottomish look on the 1 minute.
Well, we are making, you see, we are making higher lows though. Like in this
Yeah.
triangle looking thing, we are making the higher lows. But it could be that we're forming a bear pennant, right?
What does OBG mean?
That's a good
An
point.
open bar gap.
Okay.
So it's when there's a breakout and you got a big long bar, it leaves a gap in the price on the third bar afterwards, right? So if you look at on a 5 minute chart, and they work really well on the 5 minute chart. So if you find a breakout bar, combos are three, right? You have the first bar, and then you have a breakout bar, and then you have a follow bar. If the follow bar doesn't go back and close the price of the previous bar before the breakout, that creates an open bar gap. That means that, from what I've read and seen, that means that there are orders sitting there that didn't get filled. So the price will go back there to pick up those orders. It works well in the 5 minutes and the 1 minute. And look at that, guys. We're just breaking down.
Yep. Hang on a second, though. We just went 2 deviations outside of angular outside of pivot support from a little diamond pattern here.
Yeah, so 39.6175, 39.60.
Got Tesla
And
trending out.
on the hourly, there's an open bar gap at 39.65 too. A shisha par, is that Unirenko? I don't think Tawz has that. Anybody seen that on Tawz?
Unirenko?
Unirenko?
I don't know about that one.
I know Renko because I have Renko charts, but I haven't seen this Unirenko.
Look at Tesla.
What's going on with Tesla?
Little IHS breakout. Target already met right now. Now we got second target coming up to the pivot, the 140.75.
Oh wow, look at that. He reversed beautifully.
And this is what I'm talking about with the little diamond here. We had the, usually this would be a quick fake breakout and then it would run the other way, but this didn't happen. It's going to range here. But watch what we do when we add a regression line.
I mean, it's funny how, so Tesla broke below that weekly Keltner. It expanded, it came back in, and it's sitting right on the Keltner right now. But then, Microsoft had a very similar setup yesterday, and
Yep, just turned it all over everybody. I know Microsoft was like looking bullish as all get at right to the close, and then sure enough, it did pop after hours. But dude, that was short lived.
yeah, I know.
That was some
I was happy
devastation.
with it, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna check tomorrow, and then today it's like crap.
Yeah. All right, so we made a lower low, and now we just snapped.
Yeah. There you go. 39, 60, 75 target met on the 1 hour. On the yes hourly. So that is going out of the way. So the next one I have 61.75, 60, and then 54.25. Which is the low of the pre-market on the CPI day. Are we going back there?
Looking like it. All right, so I was able to scalp that butterfly real quick for a nice 40% return, and now I've got even less risk in this downward trend. Still long two debit spreads at two different intervals. So one's $2 wide, one is $1 wide, and I am sitting pretty with it. I'm waiting to see if this eventually gives us a quick pullback to go and reload another credit spread on. I might have to let some coffee out in a minute.
Go tell us that now.
Right? Let's see if it'll rip a face off. All right, yeah, I'll go get some coffee real quick, or let some coffee out. I'll be right back. And I come back just in time to see that reversal. That's cool. Love it. All right, so where are we standing here? We've got a little bit below our little tipping point that we were calling out. We're back to that regression line from that previous descending wedge, or out of that diamond pattern anyway. Where do we go from here? Well, likely we'll come back to about the middle of that bar. Let me expand this a little bit. Looking like 394.60. And I'm basing that on this little control area right here. And this is the descending wedge regression line. Sets right up with that target, just about 394.50-ish.
I had my that was a challenge for me with TOS. That was one of those moments where I had the wrong level because TOS rounds doesn't give me quarters, it gives me dollars.
Oh, yeah.
So that would have been, I said 39.62, and then when I just looked at it, I realized it said 39.62.92, which meant it was closer to 39.63.
Right.
So that 39.63.25 puts us in this very funny look. And I'm going to show you on a 1 hour chart.
All right, above the regression line. Not exactly trending here. This is just kind of lull. But look what happened to our 1 minute chart. Now we're bouncing back over our 8 period. Print a tweezer here. Cool. We can continue to run back down lower as if this was a pause. But if we push that 20 period, we've got a chance of running a reversal here, at least back to the bottom edge of our wedge, which is about 394.85. Let's just extend this guy right here.
Oh, look at what you said to me earlier today.
Bang, right up against angular on our pattern, just our diamond. This diamond didn't have any other touches in this formation. Mainly, when you see a diamond, you can mark it with the simplicity of range expansion, range contraction, and a break. So if you just mark the range expansion part and then guesstimate where the contraction would take shape, it still functions as a diamond. It defines the range. It's an ugly, messy diamond, but it works, damn it. All right. I was able to get another credit spread open just as I was getting to the bathroom there. I ran that $2 wide for 24 cents, and now I'll probably buy it back at 20. Unless it goes back to 16, that'd be even better. All right, XLF. Kind of running out of gas on this breakover too, so I'm going to go ahead and take profit on that put. I'm not going to even try to roll that into a credit spread. At this point, it's done its job. I am happy with it. Bam, done. 20% return, good enough for me. All right, now what?
Hey Stone, check out that high wave candle on the hourly.
I'm going to turn off Bollinger Bands for a moment here. I'm going to take another look at Amazon too. Ah,
Yep.
nice, clean, rising double bottom. All right, we trending. Remember, this is still a resistance point right here. Patterns and shapes and things, candles, retracements. There's a lot going on any chart. It's just being able to tune into it and just instinctively know what it's expected to do. And that is,
Look at that beautiful bull
Sorry, I
candle
was doing
move
something.
right there.
What did you say, Ironclad?
Look at that high wave candle that's forming on the hourly on the ES.
Oh, yeah.
keen eye, sir. Working the same for SPY. So
In that zone.
I was gonna throw down some experience here. So seeing patterns, shapes, candles, everything on a chart. At some point, this all becomes easy, and you can still have problems with the psychological part.
Yep, I'll be right back.
Essentially arguing with your own brain, trying to figure out if you stay in this trade or if you adjust it here or you break your trade plan rules, stuff like that. The whole point of it is when you make a trade plan, you're basing it on your chart analysis more than anything. That trade plan is solid. You come up with some solid ideas. Following that trade plan and sticking to it is the most counterintuitive thing you'll ever feel in your life. But when you've mastered the ability to just follow your trade plan, if this then that, and stick to that instead of going, hey, wait a minute, this could go higher. Oh my gosh, this is doing this or that, or it's outside of my parameters, but I'll still ride it. When you get to the point where you can trade a 5-second chart, you can do that. You can stay on momentum. Okay, cool. But don't try to argue with yourself that it's going to reverse or it'll go back up or, whatever your mentality is trying to tell you or your situation is trying to tell you, and it's arguing. If you're a newer or intermediate trader and you've got price action down, you've been able to make solid trade plans but not been able to execute them very well because you find yourself arguing with your trade plan, just close it. Stop right there. Get the hell out of it. Doesn't matter what it does. Find a new trade plan and start over. And then this time, don't let yourself even begin the argument. You already made a trade plan for a reason. If it doesn't follow your program of your trade plan, then execute this. If this, then that. Once you break that cycle of letting yourself talk yourself out of your trade plan or letting yourself convince yourself that something's going to happen when it's not, you will find yourself to be a lot more profitable. Oh, this is pretty awesome. All right, all these sequentials on Tesla, man, that's nuts. It's saying go bearish here at the 200. Can we validate
Yeah, I
that?
agree on the psychological thing, man.
It's like hard. I can make this charting thing look so easy, and still, I could screw up trades if I let my emotions get involved and start arguing with my own plan.
It took me well over a year to push the button.
Right.
It's like you chart, you look through it, you know your targets and everything, and you just don't push the buy button or the sell button,
Right.
And then at the end of the day, you go, what the hell? Why didn't I do that? It took me a year to say, okay, I'm just going to push the button. And if I'm wrong, I'm going to push the opposite button.
Right.
And we've been pretty good at calling out the levels, calling out the targets, perfecting our strategy.
That's it. We've got the strategy down. We get all the analysis down. You get your trade planning down. Everything works great. Let the machine do its thing. Don't try to let your emotions or your own argument talk you out of it. And treat it like a program. Let it run like a program.
Yes.
And over time, like you'll get to a point where you can let logic take control of your trade plan. So that's the difference. Like letting emotion take you out of your trade plan is horrible, but letting logic take you out of your trade plan, that's awesome. That's why I can go and like have a swing position open on, you know, a 1 and 5 minute chart or 5 and 15 minute chart or longer term anyway. And yet I can govern that by watching a 5-second chart. Okay, I can eke a little bit more profit out of it here because this is still trending or this is breaking here or whatever. Whatever the logic may be, the logic is changing the trade plan, not the mentality. But yeah, that's a crucial thing to overcome. And it'll be the hardest, most counterintuitive thing you'll ever imagine doing in your life. But when you get there, dude, it's just then you really do not only make it look easy, it becomes easy. All right, so we're kind of drifting off of the chart damage or off the chart dope here. You know, we've done everything we can with this channel. That's already kind of nullifying itself in this here. We're starting a new pattern here is what we got. So where is the logic going to tell us to go here? So we had a rising channel. You know, ignoring all this stuff. In fact, I'm going to delete all that. That won't be relevant later. There was one line that would be, but we'll redraw it. Rising channel, 50% retracement done. Bouncing back up. Ate exactly 50% of this slope here and reversed. All on a 5-second chart. Done. Okay. Where are we at on our 1 minute chart? Still floating right on this regression line from this previous wedge. What's the setup? Well, we got a potential double bottom here with a higher low. Can we reverse here? Yes, we can. We know where the targets are. R1, 394.55. It's right here. Plain as day. Body's there. This is a liquidity zone. So first extension target, 394.80. That can get you a quick 3-pointer if it takes off right. Coming up to the second extension, that's this bar here, 395.10. That's if this double bottom does its thing. So it's if this then that. Here's R1 coming up. And what did our 5-second chart tell us?
Did we get a Twizzler bottom on the ES at 10:30?
5-minute, yeah.
10:40 candles on the 5-minute? Yeah. I'm just looking back. I'm like, oh. I mean, we had wicks on those, but it
Tweezers
looks
are
like
great.
open and close were.
There's two things to pay attention to. There's two different tweezers on that chart. Here's your bearish tweezer. Both candle bodies are the same. That is a traditional tweezer. But when you see it happen where you don't get twins, where you get one bigger, one engulfs the other, this is more powerful than this. So this says it wants to be a little bit more bullish than this said it being bearish. Because you have bullish engulfing. And that's the whole point of the word bullish engulfing. That candle ate up that candle. It's outside of it. Now we watch for continuation. Is it going to hold? Well, we're on our regression line. On a 5-minute chart, it transfers over. Big old hammer here. This bar is coming through the 8 period. That's the bar to watch. This is the one telling you to take the trade. Now we go back to our 1-minute chart. And what do we have? Price on top of the 8 period setting up. But where's the first resistance? Right at R1. This guy right here. Previous high.
Ironclad. do the negative on a 1 minute. You know how to do that in TOS?
Yep.
Do the negative MES on a 1 minute. You're going to see a rising channel breaking.
Yeah, we have the wedge, the down wedge forming right now. So we got a 1 push, 2 push. We had a 3 pushes from the open, but we haven't had an overshoot yet, right?
Boom. All right, cleaned up all the profit on the put side out of that reversal. Now I'm going to wait and see what happens here at this R1 target. Amazon looking bullish. Tesla looking for a retrace. It's almost there. 142 is my target on that. And Amazon's
This
just
is gonna break out in 30 minutes when I have to jump on my calls. You know?
Yep.
Amazon might hit back
That's what
at
it told me earlier.
95 here in a minute. Remember how I was showing you guys how this little wedge here on the 23rd set the range for yesterday? I didn't notice that till this morning. I had these lines drawn on the 23rd, and they were extended to the pre-market, and then I just left them alone. Well, this morning I went and extended them. I'm like, huh, son of a gun, they define the range. And then now we're back to that angular support side is now resistance. We're right at it. I'm expecting a return to 95 bucks, which is right up here. And that's just Globex high, basically, from the pre-market. That is a nice, clean-looking double bottom. That's almost a Wu-Tang double bottom is, what's the name we call it?
That's beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful.
Ain't it gorgeous?
Yeah, I've
Oh.
gotten a couple of really good trades here.
Here's your SPY. There's your double bottom, R1 breach. All right. Now we're headed for target. All the way up here, 395.10. But remember, this is your transition point. We just broke that. That was resistance. We're likely going to test it for support now. I'm going to zoom way in on that. Quick test for support. Let that close a hammer there.
Hang on, I'm going to do this for you. All right, Glad.
Oh, life is good. Cleaned up all my put side on the Condor. Now we're riding the call side back to some sort of return. I'll put that position off. I might even, if we range later today, I might build another Condor into the close and then do it all over again. It is so relaxing being able to trade from a previous neutral into the next day.
See, it's on your reverse chart right there.
Uh-huh.
We going down on that. It's a way for the bear to see a bull side, right?
Right.
Uh-huh. Here's the thing for me, because of penny stocks, I still see the bull moves better. So so I've been training myself to see the bear moves, but occasionally I will use the negative MES or something like this because I said, oh, this is going to break down.
Yep.
You know, and then I put my lines on it to get my 33% and everything. I got a couple trades off of this, so I was really happy.
Nice.
So it works for me. You know, it's just one of those things. It's like kind of being dyslexic
Yep.
and taking advantage of it.
Oh, hey, we're in another spinner box. I guess I can start calling these spinner boxes. That makes sense, right?
Yep.
Give it a
You might see
logical name.
price come back down to 71.
Well, as I was
71,
saying before,
65.
this angular here was resistance. Now it's support. It's always going to test support. You can set your watch to that. Amazon, freaking glorious measured move. Oh, that warms my heart when I see stuff like that.
I've gotten some very good scalps today.
Good stuff, man.
Excellent.
I've been able to just chill and work from neutral with options, rolling this. I was able to take a credit spread and day trade it against my puts and just maximize my returns on that. That was so freaking cool. Now I just chill and wait for the calls to come back somewhere to par where I can close them. And like I said, I can roll this into another condor if we range today. That is a beautiful looking Wu-Tang though, dude. Look at that.
You're right.
Right there. Double bottom with the Wu shape. These are extremely bullish. All right, we hit the extension. We're out of our spinner box, and the next pivot is right up here. 395.25.
All right. I've done this for folks who like to see other colored charts, so I'm going to take a picture here in a second. And I now have my white chart for folks who like lighter charts. So, and I did name it the Ironclad so I can save it and just pop to it anytime I want.
What the hell? There's some sort of porn bot in our chat on the YouTube channel, but it's like not letting me do anything with it. Huh. Oh, okay.
There it is. There's the new Ironclad style of chart, so I can just change the style when we want to put up a white chart for somebody who wants to see white. I try to aim to please.
We aim to please. We aim to profit and please. And that's kind of why we should talk about that. That's kind of why we do what we do. We feel that everybody should know how to do this for themselves. If you want to get into trading, don't hit the easy button and go follow some guru out there and take their trades and chase them around. Some of them will have you be profitable, sure. But for the most part, they're like kind of doing a copycat thing, charging you thousands of dollars a month. Some of them, it's absolute nonsense because if they ever go away or if their rates get so out of hand that you can't afford to pay for it anymore, you're kind of left there holding the bag, and you don't learn anything. With us, we'd rather teach, and we go and show you how to do this yourself. And then the idea is you can go out and trade on your own, not have to pay an exorbitant fee, have your own knowledge, manage your own portfolio. That's where the gold is. Enough said. Rant over. All right, Tesla's trending on up. Here goes Amazon making that push to 95. And this is beginning to look like one of those 5-second rolling tops like SPY likes to do. It'll look bearish until it isn't. And there it is. It isn't. Almost nailed that 395.25 already. Yeah, the quant tool always wins. Oh, look at Devin. Got all the nasty dope and it paid off. Good stuff. It's funny, this sequence told us to go bearish here. Wrong. Maybe for a bar.
Yeah, that was a throw off right there.
No, we don't go bearish until the cows come home and start to break that 8 period. Go Amazon, go. Yeah, call spreads are looking good now. Well, mine are. I rolled out to March 17th expiration with that instead of going for February 17th because I intend to butterfly it again. I want it to have some value. And what I'll do is I'll hold that as just a straight butterfly, straight through earnings. I'll lock in whatever profit it gives me. And if it doesn't give me any profit to lock in a butterfly, it's kind of a YOLO. It's kind of out of the money enough to where it's cheap enough. I don't care if I lose the whole thing. I've already made killer returns on the previous butterflies. Not going to sweat it. I'm not saying jump after that, but it's still got some bullish retracement to handle, so I'll let it do its thing. All right, Tesla's high and tight, but this is a typical penny stock setup. Let me turn off the noise so we can see what I'm talking about. 1, 2.
Tesla had a V-shaped recovery on the 5 minutes.
On the 5 minute, yeah, it had a nice double bottom on the 1 minute. So after the reversal, okay, no, let me count this. After the reversal, we got 1, 2, the old 3 flags up. Third flag, if it fails, it comes back to the support level of flag 2. That can dive down to like 140 very, very shortly here, just for a pullback. It would actually be healthy for it to do so. And in the meantime, pay attention to the fact that it's also built a descending channel. I'll just mark the one line on here.
Have you guys seen Bitcoin's on the way up?
Yeah,
Oh, I just got back down. Hey, sorry, just was away for a minute.
it's made some moves.
Anything happened while I was gone? Oh yeah, everything.
To help me out with taxes, I only trade cryptocurrencies every other year from now on. Last year I traded the crap out of it. This year I'm like, hands off, I'll let it do its thing. Let me adjust this line just a little bit. That was a 33% retracement of that previous bull trend. You see that? Right in there. Watch for a tweezer bottom right on that angular. Anywho, I'm going to wrap it up for the YouTube feed. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Hope you guys have a wonderful evening. Wonderful afternoon, that is. And evening, if we don't see you. We'll be back at it again tomorrow morning. And Friday is going to be probably we'll come back on YouTube on Friday. We're not sure if we're going to do this Friday because we got some stuff coming up. I've got some meetings I got to take care of. So as far as content goes, we're going to try and do a little bit more during the week. We'll get a quick like market analysis, little 5-minute video out or something like that. We'll try and get that done today or tomorrow. Anyway, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and tell your friends. And hit the bell and get the notification when we do stuff, because we're going to start doing a little bit more content throughout the week instead of doing just the 1 hour a day like we do with our live feed. We'll probably do a secondary thing at least twice a week at this point, and then we'll add more as we go along. But thanks for joining us. There's definitely definitely good having you guys on. We love hearing your comments and stuff, and we love to be able to answer them. See you guys tomorrow.